Welcome to another episode of Ragas. We just did a program about the talent of the Lucies that's coming through to that's already playing Currie Cup at this stage. Some of them already played Super Rugby or Rainbow Cup and that kind of stuff. And it's not the fixtures we put out is only provisional fixtures, but the Under 20 Rugby Championship is starting in 2 weeks' time.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's fantastic, and a lot of people will tell me it's fantastic. I want to ask you the question: what's the use of the Under 20 Championship?
Well, Carl, my first answer to you as a rugby supporter and passionate rugby supporter is that, you know what, any rugby at this stage will be much appreciated. I enjoy young rugby talent, even from schoolboy level up. This is just the next step up, under 20s. So for me personally, I think it's very exciting. I know you look at it from a different perspective in terms of the players' futures.
I understand
and development.
Yeah, I understand the under 20 or the under 20 competition is like Willem Strauss of the Bulls said to me. He can introduce the Bulls' way of doing things to the younger players and everything, and it does from under 19 to under 20. There's a lot of development that's being done.
But what thereafter?
But after under 20, we're sitting with a problem. The Sharks has just announced 3 new acquisitions. It's Ben Tapui, Edwin Keite, and Gerbrand Grabler. All of them older than 25. Some of them even older, because you must accept at the United Rugby Championships that we're going to start playing
in September,
there is no space or very little space for a guy of 21, 22. I mean,
unless he's brilliant.
Not even.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at we played Trevisa, no? No, Benetton in Trevisa. The reason why the Bulls lost is because of the inexperience of these guys to handle those pressure cooker moments.
Yeah.
And that you only get by experience. My personal feeling is they must cut the under 20 because there's no money for any other series, and we must make it an under 23 competition.
Broaden the scope of players that can be exposed, developed, get game time.
Yeah, and then we can expand, because at this stage, I mean, the Eagles are included at the Currie, I might not say Currie Cup anymore, in the under 20 competition because of the Pickers Rugby Academy there.
Yeah, okay.
But if you can make it under 23, you will have a lot more of the school leavers going to Eastern Province, going to Eastern Cape, going to Griquas and all those places. And so there will be a wider spread of proper talent, and there will be a proper competition where the guy can be developed from under 20 or under 18, 19 to under 23. And after under 23, it's easier for him to make the step up to the senior rugby.
But now, alas, only under 20. Because the under 21 competition was also no longer exists.
Yeah, it doesn't exist, and I mean it's a single round. So these guys has been inactive from last year April when the last rugby was played, the under 19s of this year, and they're only going to play in August. So they've been inactive for a year and a half.
Okay, and it's unions.
There's 8 unions. There's 8 unions that's playing. It's the Eastern Province, the Leopards, the Bulls, the Lions, Cheetahs, Sharks, Western Province and Eastern Province.
My next question is, do the unions have enough of these players?
No, they don't. Because already, I think it's the toy boy from Office, he played fullback last year. He's at Rao, or yes. What's Rao's new name? UJ.
Yeah.
He's already practicing with the Sharks. The Bulls under 20 side that played against the Cheetahs and they won 5 tries by 2, there was a lot of club players there.
Yes, so they're going to have to draw on the club system.
Yeah.
For players. Yeah.
You understand, but if you have it under 23 competition, the guy will be developed for 5 years before he had to make the step up. Because what is going to happen with our under 21 to under 25 players? They must go and play club rugby.
Yeah.
So you're the superstar at under 20 level, and then,
Then there's a gap.
then there's a gap that must be now filled by club rugby, or he must leave South Africa.
Because the unions are only going to be looking for the senior, more 25 and up.
They have to. You can't go and play with a 21 I spoke to, was it Harvey's the other day, and he said it's about the balance. But he never said what is the balance of the 45 players.
Oh.
You understand, a lot of these guys are bringing, I mean, Western Province are bringing a lot of under 19, under 20, under 21 guys through now. But it's because they don't have money. But the Sharks do. The Bulls do. FP Pelser for the Lions was 30 years old.
Yeah.
So the guys will have to look at the older players in the United Rugby Championship. And they've got 45 players.
So the solution is raise the bar to under 23?
Personally, I think we must scrap the under 20s if there's only 2 competitions. Scrap the under 20s.
Is this a once-off or is it going to be again next year?
Well, it's going to be permanently. But
Okay.
the big thing behind the under 20 competition is apparently to supply players for the under 20 World Cup.
Okay.
That also doesn't make sense. Because if you play under 20 this year,
You're not going to be under 20. You're not going to be eligible next year.
you're not going to be eligible next year, and because the World Cup is normally in April.
Okay, so that was the thinking from, I would say, SARU's side, in terms of why under 20 specifically. It's for the World Cup.
The sum suck from SARU's side.
Okay, so
Listen, it's brilliant. I mean, last year it was in a bubble, which I still believe is going to happen if there's another COVID outbreak. This year they play at the unions and they travel and all that kind of stuff. So,
or you might find yourself like we had Varsity Cup, one bubble.
yeah, and this year the Sharks should wipe the table with all the others because they've got a brilliant under 19, under 20 squad. And next year it will be the Bulls because they contracted last year the best under 18 squad, under 19s this year.
So they'll be smiling.
Yeah, obviously they'll be smiling and all that kind of stuff. My only problem is for the development of that guy into a proper professional rugby player.
Have to close the gap between under 20 and 25.
Yeah, 23. You can do 25. I think it's unfair for under 19 guy. Mind you, you can't play for Boxmart. You can't play against under 25 guy. So I think under 23 is the perfect balance.
Median. Yeah.
So you won't have the Bulls contracting 35 players, I think. It won't happen because there won't be place for them. They will contract your best 15 under 19s, 15 under 20s, and so on because they're not limited.
No.
I know you guys don't like it, but if you really look at the situation, according to me, that's the solution.
Yeah. But as it stands, under 20 competition starting soon, August.
2 weeks time.
2 weeks time.
I think the 7th of August. Yeah.
And there's a lot of games. The schedule, well, the preliminary schedule is available on Rogers.
Well, there's 7 games. Yeah, because there's eight teams. It's a single round competition with a semi-final and a final. So so the final and the semi-final will be your 4 top unions that's got the money to contract the under 20s.
Right. Anyway, more rugby, happiness.
Yeah, but we must look at the future.
I agree.
But that's the situation with the under 20 rugby. It is going to happen. There was a lot of doubt from the people if it's really going to happen. They are going to announce the final fixtures. They said Wednesday, because the list that we published is the list that was sent out to the unions to see if they're happy with the competition. And so yeah, it's going to happen. Personally, I think scrap it. Let's play a under 23 Currie Cup. Not a SARU Championship. But yeah, that's it.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.